Yeah.
And now
Okay.
they moved it over here.
So Tiff stuck with it. Okay. Was that super dope? That one, or was the other one that they were doing?
I don't know the name.
Oh.
So when they had the, I don't know the girl's name. Wore glasses, dreads.
It's one of the owners.
Yeah.
Sunny.
I can't remember. Tiffany knows the name of the owner.
Sunny.
It maybe is Sunny.
She's the one with locks.
Yeah, so that might be the one. How long you been playing?
I tell people 10 years, but it's really 14. The first 4 I was just trash.
Okay.
So I don't really speak on it. You know, people don't want to hear me. I remember, I'll tell you a funny story. So, you know, the Usher You Got a Bad song, of course, right?
Uh-huh.
So I learned that solo, you know, when I first started playing. The song's only about like 3-4 minutes. It took me 5 minutes to get through the solo alone. By the time I looked up, the ladies were laughing at me and stuff. I was like, oh my God, crushed. Crushed. Yeah, so.
There is a wine in the fridge too, so I don't know if
Do you want wine or liquor?
I don't want to show my colors, but
look, you don't have to worry about that because we do liquor all the time.
Yeah, I do liquor.
Yeah,
it actually doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. The Vibe Black.
Oh, there.
I get some more. I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, let me know too because I told them I was gonna get another bottle.
I
never even tried it.
You didn't try it?
Only do beer.
That's right. Yeah. So.
Okay, redemption or makers?
Makers.
You can open the other one if you want to.
I'm flattered.
What's this one?
Some of the choices and selections.
The other one is the
Blackened.
It's Metallica.
That's the Metallica brand.
Metallica?
Yeah.
They got a brand?
I didn't know either until Kurt pulled it out. And I was like,
Nobody's
wow.
tried it. Is today?
Maybe we should commemorate it. Actually, that was the inspiring Kirk Hammett. I learned a lot of his songs.
See, that's perfect.
I was like, yo.
That's perfect then.
This is the blackened.
Nice.
Blackened it is. We're gonna drink it.
Blackened.
I bought, I don't know, Master of Puppets in like 1986.
Yeah.
So.
Shoot, man. Yeah, didn't he, Hetfield, man, he won the award for songwriter, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm really going.
I've been on TV in 20 years, so I don't really know what happened.
Oh, that's cool, man. You just missing all the latest propaganda. That's cool. I just
a lot of issues with the world that they all went away when I stopped watching TV. So
I don't feel bad, man. I just got Wi-Fi because my friends wouldn't come over. Yeah.
That part is so true. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have friends. They say like, oh, you know, because we host Thanksgiving, and they say, oh, we want to watch the football game.
Yeah.
So I bought a little antenna thing that you can hook up to this thing and then watch it. And the only time it gets used is if somebody shows up.
Yeah, it's just for them, really.
So this is just for the guests.
Thanks for washing the glass. You didn't have to do that.
You're welcome.
I mean, like, not like I would have told her taking the dirty glass, but I appreciate the consideration.
Usually I get to it. I didn't know that
You don't have to. I told you every time how I do
Thank
it.
you.
Kurt.
Well, usually I'm
Let a girl be a girl, okay?
Well,
Kurt?
Yeah, true. Stay in your place.
I don't mind staying in my place because if y'all start bringing heavy stuff in here, I'm just gonna look at you.
You gonna say put it over there? Put it over there.
I was just watching a post on that. This lady was talking about she hates the term independent strong woman.
I wonder if that's the one. I saw one too where was it a black woman?
Yeah, dark skin.
Yeah,
Probably the same one. Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, I feel that. I was like, you know what? Because I mean, if you got it, you good. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right.
But and that's and I like that what she said.
Yeah.
She was like, yes, I'm independent, and
Right.
but she was like, I don't want. She was like, when people see that, they think you don't need no help
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah,
So you got them bags. You good?
yeah, so exactly. So but then you do have those. I know I've had situations where I've seen a woman with a bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh, you need something? She's like, I got it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I was just being nice. Yeah.
That's for real. And then it's weird when they hit on you. I was like, I don't even know what you need me for. You got a toy. You got everything.
Got
Like, you
everything.
strong.
Exactly.
Why am I here?
Exactly.
All right, I'm here for conversation.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta do a toast.
Oh yeah.
I got one I always say.
Okay.
All right, that's
let's
all I like.
Whoa, wait.
All
What's
right.
wrong? Are you going to video?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
This is why my friends do this. I was like, 'cause I be struggling. Trying to get
Yeah.
the camera, y'all.
It's kind of hard.
She's always on.
I'm always
because
on.
You got
I'm
to.
terrible with it.
Okay.
You gotta be. If it ain't recorded, it didn't happen.
I like that. Okay.
Do you want water in addition, or are you good with that?
Oh no, this is cool. Yeah, it'll be all right.
Do I got? Can I get some water, Kurt?
Yep.
Yeah, it don't work if it ain't low.
All types of sayings.
There you go.
All right.
Like an old man, but may our tomorrows forever overshadow our yesterdays by letting no day be better than today, and that's how we live our life.
Yeah.
Are we doing that? A little tap.
Yeah.
What is it? Who started that?
I don't know. I just learned it. We learned it with.
Yeah. What was it?
Black vodka?
Black Vibe when we did.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Made me feel like I met this guy who had just got out of prison. And he was talking about like every time they get up from the table, they would always knock first. And I was like, is this another prison trend? No.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me turn off.
There we go.
phone.
I'm back. All right, I'm me now. So
Yes.
That's pretty good.
I was gonna say
That is pretty good.
yeah,
they did
Yeah.
good with that.
yeah,
And you're building it, you're creating it for mass market.
Tastes like
So,
true.
but yeah, I'll probably try
Simmered
over that
in
at some point. But you
cinnamon.
can keep the bottle over there if you don't want more during the recording.
This is nice. Yeah. I guess they went ahead and did. You know, I thought about starting a wine brand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wouldn't know where to start.
Man, we'll have the connection. We have one guy, Dante, who was on the show. I mean, not Dante, Denzel.
I'm good.
Oh,
On the
yeah.
show. He has a wine.
Yeah.
And then
Dr.
Dr. Tony Reese
Nice.
has the black vodka. So you got two people that we had.
And the same thing. She said she's good with wine, but she brought the bottle over and then kept it.
I know. You see where it's at.
Just to
No,
pull it
this
up.
is just in case y'all want
That's
some
funny.
more. I'm not gonna go fast. I got all day. It's 2:00.
What does that mean?
I know because I have no responsibility today. So
Hey.
And it's nice.
Yeah.
it
like
is.
that shit,
It is
for real.
really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Can we start off by like
you-
hearing some of your vibes?
Oh, you mean play something?
Yeah. What?
Now I was like, we need to see as the Curse ready yet.
Oh,
Oh.
I know. I was just asking. Like when we start off, can
I'll have to jump into that.
yeah, to have that playing
I've
in the
been
background.
recording for 10 minutes.
Oh,
10 minutes?
okay. So we just in.
Yo.
Yeah, you okay? So it's good.
I used to have a problem with like pausing and stopping it. My friend was like, don't stop touching the button. I was like, just let it ride.
Just let it ride.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like that. You want me to count you in?
Sure.
He gonna play a little bit, but you count him in.
Okay,
We're just
okay.
gonna come in when,
Then you just
when I
gonna come
feel
in.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, he didn't need it counting.
Step right in. But I like that. You missed he was playing while you was gone.
I know
Like a
when
little-
I came in, I was
yeah.
like, oh, I like the vibe.
Get that. Yeah, your radio voice. I say, can I just say a few words to the
You know I move so much, Kurt. I'm gonna try to stay right here.
You can move a little bit. It's just
It just gives. It does give you like I don't sing, but it make me want to sing.
I know.
Oh, come on, Brian.
What happened? You know,
I need a couple more drinks.
Okay, you can just still do 3, 2, 1. I think it's gonna be a good vibe. You can
Okay.
3, 2, 1 with
Okay.
the music in the background. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Broadbelt SpeaX, and today we have lovely
Kolin James. Yes. You can hear him playing. You can see him playing.
We're just gonna let that ride for a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. but you got to kick off and let them know where we at today.
Yes. So, as always, we're in Flux Creative Studios. We have the engineer of the now 3 decades,
Yeah, it's been 3.
internationally known. Kurt is in the building.
Yes.
Yes. I like the snap. Have you done the snaps before?
No, it's
Okay.
the 5, you know?
See?
It's like it's important. Right?
The finger started. I just followed.
Yeah.
Yes, welcome,
Yes.
welcome, Colin. I'm so happy
Yes,
that
hey.
you're here.
Nice. I appreciate
Long
that.
overdue. I've been meaning to reach out to you for some many moons now, but I'm glad we connect
Yeah, it's been a couple
today.
full ones.
Yeah. It has. And we're gonna jump right on in like we always do
Yeah.
at Broadbelt SpeaX. And
Come here.
right here,
Yeah, he was just like, come here.
we're gonna fix it, guys.
There you go.
Talk to you.
Doesn't have to be right on.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kurt.
There we go. That's why he's internationally known. My man.
Just lost a decade on
Oh gosh. Okay.
why we need
Yeah.
you.
So definitely want to jump right on in.
Okay.
To know the story of how you became Kolin James, and well, not really. Not. I guess your mom and dad had a lot to do with that. But
Yeah, my dad said he forgot. He told me I could have been a stain on the sheet. It was like one of his jokes he used to say, just for real, bro.
I love
Yeah,
that.
for real.
I love
Yeah, I'm not
that.
even embellishing it.
could have been a stain on the sheet.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
over there.
all could have been the stain.
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Easily aborted.
I know.
Yeah. But yes, tell us all about when you started to feel the need to be a musician.
Okay, cool. So it started, man, I haven't told this story in a while, but I actually was sitting in the car. It was I finished freshman year of college, so it was the summertime. I ain't gonna tell my age, but it's, yeah. So I was sitting in the car with my parents and everything. They went grocery shopping. I was trying to find something on the radio. I was like, I just want to hear something different. I'm tired of hearing rapidy rap. You know what I mean? So I was scrolling through, and then for those about to rock by AC/DC had came on, and I was like, what is that? I was like, hold up, I had to roll it back, because sometimes you go past the station and get a little blurry. I was like, hold up, and then I don't know if you ever heard the song, but it's really guitar driven. It's really heavy. It's like an anthem, really. So from there I was like, okay, what is this guitar thing? You know what I mean? So my little sister had a pink Hannah Montana guitar that was in the house. This is before I knew anything about
So
tuning.
this is college when you started.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I always been a late bloomer.
Yeah, look, there's
For some
no
reason.
time on it, so
Yeah, it makes you realize the time is now. Like, it's never too late.
Right.
I used to see people like 60 years old that was sitting next to me in class. So I was like, I guess it's never too late. So I was playing that in the middle of the night. From there, I was researching guitars. I used to like sing to my little sister before she can really remember, before she knew I was trash. And I got my first guitar. I was on Tryon Street in Charlotte. At this pawn shop.
okay.
I pulled out the pawn shop and got into an accident immediately.
Damn.
Yeah, tore my dad's car up. Got hit by F-150. Got traumatized.
man.
Don't ever let nobody just let you out in like rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
You gotta make your
Yeah.
own choices. But yeah. So the first thing I worried about was like, is my guitar okay?
That was
Yeah. And then my dad was like, you know what, man? We might have to take that guitar back. He was going to take the money. He was going to repawn it back and take the money. But I'm glad he didn't, because that probably defeated me in the beginning.
Yeah.
I probably never went back.
That
I was
would
like,
have
you know what?
stopped. You would have not been okay.
Saved all my money up
The
from working at
choices.
Hollister. I used to be a
Yeah.
Hollister model, y'all.
Oh,
shit,
really?
that's what's
Yeah.
up.
But,
We'll get into that. after
Yeah,
this
that's part of
story.
that's
yeah,
more
that was
than
cool.
Yeah, that's that
We
journey.
was trying to we entered to the competition. We were trying to get on the walls, like in all the stores across the nation and stuff. But yeah, so that's how I got started playing the pink Hannah Montana guitar.
Yeah.
It was in the middle of the night too, like nobody knew about
The
this.
pink guitar.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just crazy that was your first introduction. So you was, prior to that, you did not dabble with the guitar or anything.
No music, nothing really. I mean, no, not really. No,
Yeah.
I was just an artist. I actually went to school for computer graphics and animation. And just steered
okay.
completely away from that.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
But that song just got you. It grabbed you.
Something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck fuck is this?
And you never
Can we
look
cuss?
back? It's just been...
Is it okay if I cuss? Is that like,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
okay, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was like, what is
Yeah,
this?
nah, because we're
On the
going to
radio?
drop some. So you
Okay. I was
the
waiting
last
for
show
y'all.
I was really I was cussing a lot.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, goodness.
Like a sailor, huh?
Yeah, I was a sailor and they just let me do it.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let it be
Yeah.
seen.
Control your own censorship.
All right. I was like, wow, let me scale back.
I was really gonna wait on y'all.
Oh,
He was
okay.
like, oh, if they cuss, then I'm good.
Right.
No, we always.
No, you good. Be yourself.
Yeah,
Be
cool.
yourself.
Definitely.
Yeah.
What was I saying before? You was like,
No, I think we gotta go back to it.
What did you say?
I don't know, because I really wanted to go like.
Was talking about the music he had just started playing. He was the computer graphics.
Yeah, the
in school.
Hollister. I wanted after you finish that story. What age were you when you was doing the?
I think I was like 19.
Okay.
Yeah, 19. I was back and forth between Charlotte and Winston-Salem. Yeah.
And you gave that up and started focusing.
Yeah, they don't really pay much.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah. Mind you, I spent all summer to make $115 part time.
Wow.
To get this guitar.
Yeah.
That got into the accident that my dad almost made me repawn.
And it was like, we about to get that money back.
Right there. Snatch that back.
So when did you start taking it like seriously to perform and that journey? How did you get into that? Because you're doing it as a hobby, and then it said, "Oh, I want to perform. I'm gonna start practicing."
Well, I was telling you about the story. I tried to play the Usher solo in the beginning. People,
you wasn't here for that.
Yeah, I first I just played for friends, and they would always laugh at me and stuff, and nobody really wanted to listen. You know what I mean? People would leave the room. My friend would go and talk to his girlfriend for hours who he never really talked to like that, and go in the room and talk to her. I was like,
humble beginnings.
Very discouraging. So my first time, right, I actually was at Winston-Salem State. That's where I went to school. I went to an open mic. This is probably like 2 years in, really. And I went up there. I had written this poem. You know what I mean? And it was like 2.5 pages long, which I didn't realize was a long time on stage. You know what I mean? I didn't realize like you like multiply times 5.
Right.
Really? And then, so like I tell people too, I used to be in speech therapy for like stuttering and stuff. So when I get nervous, it comes up, you get the little jitters and stuff. I brought the guitar. I didn't even bring the guitar to the stage. I just brought my poetry. I was like, I'm too scared to play that. You know, I was having like the flashbacks, and I was like, people were laughing at me before. I was like, this is a larger group. It might be everybody laughing this time. Lord behold, they did. Anyway, I went up there. I was sweating, stuttering all the way through these 2.5 pages. College rule. The host, he comes up. He's like, "Yeah, man," and he just repeats the last 2 words. He was like, "That's all we heard." But give it up for your boy. I was like, oh my God. And I get back to my seat. My friend Ben was laughing his ass off. And I was just like, damn. So I tried again. The next time it was another open mic. Shihan, he was like a deaf poetry artist.
Here in Greensboro?
He's like nationally known, I think.
Okay.
Huge. He was a big guy there. Like Shalee was always bring out the heavy hitters, right? So he's there. I'm like, man, I've seen this guy. He's kind of like my open mic idle a little bit.
Yeah.
So I try again. Now, mind you, I probably down like a fifth of Jack prior.
Get those nerves relaxed.
I did. I had steel strings on my classical guitar, which you should never do. You should keep the nylon on there. Because they don't stay in tune.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
That was just for him over there.
That's why I see you look over there. And
Kurt gave you a look like,
So oh my God, it did. So I'm drunk tuning, outside. I was like, and mind you, like, I wish I had invited my dad because he never got to see me perform. Like he died just shortly after that. But to my point, he asked me to come. I told him, I was like, nah, don't come. Everybody who wanted to see me was like waiting for this moment. I was like, nah, please. The last time was horrible. I don't want to be embarrassed again. And I got embarrassed again anyways. So I had the same 2-page poem. I was trying again. I had recited it. I had said it to my girlfriend a bunch of times. She was there. Her friends were there. My friends were there. I had my out-of-tune guitar, just by that time. And I had the book right here, right? Like the whole notebook right here. And I'm playing. Can nobody really hear me again? Nervous talking. guitar totally out of tune. When I hit it, it was like blah, just rocks on ice, you know. It was horrible. And then I come back, my friend was like, "This is a different friend." He was like, "Yo, that was trash." I was like, oh.
This is a different friend.
Different friend. I know. I couldn't do it twice. Yeah, so that's the story of just you just gotta put yourself out there. So that's how I really started my first time performing. It was horrible.
And I'm gonna just say this: people don't realize the anxiety and just the pressure of stepping on that stage with all eyes on you.
Yeah.
You know, the shit looks so easy from the outside, and you get up there. And I know Tiffany and myself, we both have done like open mic and stuff of that nature. And it is. I know the first time I was like you. The first time I did it. People was like, man, we could barely hear you, you know, because you nervous and then you sweated. But the feeling, the high that you get from doing it, it's like, shit, I just did that. And then you do it more and more, you get a little more comfortable. But my brother does it too. My brother's just a natural. He'll get up there and he's animated. He has and I'm like,
shout
what the hell? Like, why can't I get that? And he just kills it every time. He has like the audience is all involved in it. Like he's good like that.
I never experienced the.
Really, you just got it like that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No,
yeah, but she also
it was just,
stage and
for a long time, and I'm the baby of the family, so usually when you're the youngest,
used to the attention,
so it doesn't make you nervous, and you like it, so you're gonna play on it.
See, my brother's
kudos to you.
Too.
Yeah. So it's different, but when I hear your stories, I'm like, well, how did you continue to go? How did you? Because
that was gonna be my next question. So with all of those,
you're trash and everything, but you still kind of.
What was that inspiration and drive to keep you like, no, this is what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna stick with it?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I always felt like the prodigal son. I always identified with that story, especially the song by Fred Hammond. It was like just one of my favorites just back then. And so I was like, I can't go back home. It's either this or, you know, I was like, I got to make something happen. Yeah. So I feel like the guitar was really all I had going for me outside of drawing. I was like, what else? What else gets people's attention? You know what I mean? Yeah. And stuff. So I just kept playing. I don't know why. Maybe a little insanity, maybe a little manic at times. Mm-hmm. You know, but I kept doing it despite all the trash comments.
Did it motivate you?
Yeah, because I played basketball in high school. I was really competitive too, so I was just like, I gotta.
So you had that competitive nature,
right?
Yeah. So you weren't just gonna walk away.
No, I couldn't do that.
Just because of
maybe it was a pride thing, and I'm glad I didn't for whatever reason.
Yeah, we was on your page listening to all this. Like, man, this dude is really good.
Oh, appreciate it. Thank you.
Seriously, that's the first thing. Because I was like, college. I said, I remember he's a musician. I said, I'm about to check out this page. And I said to her in the text, I was like, oh, because, you know, it's like, oh, okay, it's all right, you know. Just like, now look, I'm like, shit, no, he's really good.
I was like, I know.
And I said, I know, I'm going through all these different ones. You had one where you was sitting on the bench outside, like in a park, with a young lady with like red hair. Yeah. And it was just killing. Then you had another one. I was like, oh, no, I like your style. I was like, look, he remind me of like a Boosie Collins sitting there playing the bass. Yeah. When you was standing there, you could tell you had height. You was sitting there, you were just real smooth and chill, hitting. I was like, damn it, I need to play a guitar.
I got you, man. I do lessons too. I do lessons.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. Speaking of Boosie Collins, it was Parliament Funk. Eddie Hazel was my biggest influence as far as funk, and then before that was Kirk Hammett from Metallica. So I think I messed up his last name, but he'll forgive me though. But yeah, so funk was like it. So I just tried to combine these different styles, like classical, funk, blues, and metal. Put it all together. Really, just kind of came out as like his own expression. It blossomed. You know, it's a late bloom, just like me, I guess.
Yeah, but now I think that's. When I think about any guitarists that I know of that I listen to, and like I know even like the story with Boosie, I watched the documentary on him where he talked about, you know, he started off with James Brown and them playing him and his brother, and then he went into Parliament where he said he was really able to let loose and do stuff, but he learned the discipline and being on point with James, because he said, I didn't know, he said every time when James Brown would turn around and go like that to the band, it was because somebody missed a note. And that was a fee. He charged them, I think, $20 for every note they missed. Back then, $20 was...
That's a motivator right there. I will practice. If you deducted my pay.
Yeah, so every time... every time I see James perform, I see him
He
turn
does
around
it
and
a
be
lot.
like that or something. I was
Yeah.
like, somebody missed a note. I don't have the ear to
I
know.
thought that was like a
Like you get
you
it.
getting it, dog. You getting charged. That's
I
cool.
want you to know that too. Point
Yeah.
right at you.
I actually watched a video of Boosie Collins. He was teaching people the funk and being on the one. He'd be like, "Dun, dun, this is the funk." I was like, "Oh,
I
word,
seen
it's
that
so
too.
easy."
Oh, and what's the dude? Ray Parker Jr.
Okay.
He played, and he used to talk about how he would grind his teeth to the rest of him. He would be doing that, and how he's grinded his teeth up from playing. Because he was pretty good too with the bass.
That dental fee.
So yeah,
That's what I was thinking. But I've seen you play with several different bands.
Yeah.
So how does that work? So you just get contracted in to do some different gigs? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I had to shout out to my partner AJ Gore, man. He helped me revamp my page and stuff. I had a lot of excess stuff on there. I mean, just to create the look, because I'm not gonna say I rebranded, but before, I just started this solo career probably like a year and a half ago. But I've always been doing it. I've always been performing with bands and playing. But it was just like I got tired of being in the background, so I tried to step to the forefront. I was like, but I don't sing. So how can we do this? I was like, how can I spotlight myself? So I started doing like collaborations with people, just like one-on-ones, and then just started getting out there more. And I told you guys earlier, if it's not recorded, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. And I just started recording. Everything we did, he was catching the video for me, and it was just like boom. But that's the solo career started out in Baltimore with my cousins. They had me come play at their club. And so I was just actually got nervous. I forgot some of the equipment, man. It was showing. I didn't really even play until the end of the night, and I was playing like with the DJ and everything. And then from there, I got a gig for a birthday party, and that was my first like really like start. And so I got like all my own equipment and stuff. So I had that. She had 2 requests. It was lovely, like just set up and everything, right? I'm getting a little excited about start stuttering. But yeah, so from there, got the footage, man. It just took off. I started getting bookings from that. It was like, man, wasn't nobody booking before. But they didn't know I was doing it.
Right.
And I was like, because I had the footage.
right.
Now they see it.
And now they see
I
it.
was like,
You out
why
there.
did I do this in the beginning? I was like, I'm like 15 years in now. I'm like,
So
It's a part of the journey.
yeah, for real.
So with that first one that you did in Baltimore, what was the time period? Like how many years were you, taking lessons, practicing to get to that point to where now you're performing in Baltimore and now you get your first gig? Yeah.
Man, so that was 2000. That was COVID. That was like 2001, January. I think January, February 2001 when I started that.
Okay.
And so since then, yeah, man, it's only been like a year and a half now. So it was probably I started playing guitar in 2008. I told you those first 4 years don't count because I was trash.
Yeah, I know.
But-
He was telling that. But I think
You had to have the first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's that journey. So one thing we
man.
always like to get to is the journey, the path you took. Because when people look at Kolin now, they see where you currently are.
Yeah.
So it's so like even we were sitting, it just seems so smooth and natural. The way you playing, it was just like. And like I said, I was about to sing. Like it was just the feeling, the energy.
Yeah, it changes
but
the
to know that it didn't start off
on, Brian McKnight.
like that. Yeah. I'll tell you. And honestly, just for everyone, they say I'm a mix between Brian McKnight and Maxwell. I'm gonna just put
Maxwell.
that there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be ongoing.
It is. It is very
Okay,
much ongoing. You just play along with it.
Yeah, but no, but so with that journey, what and I know we kind of touched on it a little bit, but what was outside of just being a competitor by nature, hearing the questions from friends like, are you sure you should be doing this? Should you try something else?
Yeah.
When there's like you said, 2 different friends was like, oh, you were trash and blah blah blah. Like,
Yeah.
what still kept you to say no? This is what I'm gonna do. Is that internal voice or?
Yeah. I think really my friends did encourage me too because they never told me to try to do anything else. They kept it real with me, but they liked my drive, and I was getting better like week after week. I was like putting in the 10,000 hours. You know what I mean? It's a real thing. And then the failures, people, you see a lot of posts of like, you got to fail 100 times. Like, you really do. And now I think about you guys asking, I was like, man, I failed a lot.
Yeah.
I was like used and abused by like little church hagglers guys that would be like trying to put a band together and little small like that was an experience.
I know that was.
Getting picked up in the van randomly and just anyways. But yeah, you just gotta fail. You gotta try everything just to get your feet wet. I mean, if you don't, then you'll never know. You know, if you sit at home and playing it, I think it was a song I listened to. It was like the lady, and I don't know the song, but pretty much the lady in there was like, you sit in your house and you play the guitar all day and you never share your music with anybody. Nobody knows what you're doing. What are you doing? What's your contribution to the world? I was like, I was doing that for like the first 2 years. I was like, man, nobody did know. So I mean, just get out there and just failing, really. And I mean, I've always felt like an underdog too. Like, I think my biggest talent was just keep going, like don't stop. You know what I mean? Because I was never like the overly talented person who just got it, just real quick. It was just always hard work. I was like, it's always hard, man. I was like, but fuck it, It's like, I gotta do it.
I do feel like, was you a part of the band Tab Arts or the Artist Block?
I was. I actually was like, I was one of their first people to perform when they first opened up.
Okay.
And then later on, Darlene had brought me in for the Tab band. I was one of the first people a part of it for a couple of years. So that was a really great experience. Shout out to the Artist Block. I appreciate you guys for that. I needed that too. I needed all that failures. Like everything that got me here, I was like, man, all that got me to right here on this couch.
But see, I think that's the thing that some artists, regardless of what field they're going into, it's under the umbrella of being an artist. I think some people they see where you are and they thinking they can just skip all the steps and go straight to the level you're at. And I think it's good when people hear like, no, like you said, you've had your failures, you had your situations where it was sketchy and you're like, I can't believe I'm in this situation, I'm doing this, or promise payment and then payment probably don't happen, or it's less than what was agreed upon.
Never paid. The church never. No, I'm stopped.
And
they never paid.
You're serving the Lord.
I mean, it's no shade to anybody that plays for church, but that one experience for me made me really never want to like play with any other ones. But I do see a lot of musicians get a lot of experience there too. So I mean, you got to do it. You got to do it.
Yeah, it's a good place to start.
Yeah, that was just a shady one.
Yeah.
And then picked you up in the van.
I mean, because people are just people. So.
Pastors are a lot of pastors.
It was like a hustle or flow moment. He had the nice car and everything, and the church was in the rec center, and everybody was struggling. But this guy was shiny. He had all
He's not
gold.
struggling.
He was not struggling at all.
Them tires are coming in.
Yeah. You remember when the Chrysler 300 had came out, and it was like the car to have?
Yeah, because it was like, it looked like the Bentley. It was like So you like,
he was stunting.
Yeah, I remember sitting in his passenger seat, and he gave me the spiel like, "Yeah, man, I like what you're doing. You're really dope, bro." Yeah, you know what I mean. It was like the moment, like I was like, sitting in there. I'm with the pastor now. I didn't even get to meet him, you know. And he's telling me, he's like, "Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? We ain't got much money." And I looked around, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, like,
but I don't usually speak up, but I will here. I even turn the mic up, but there's no shortage of failed musicians that have become pastors in churches. So,
wow, really?
Yeah.
Okay,
that's interesting.
Am I gonna be a pastor?
I was like, Pastor James.
Pastor James. I know.
Hold on now.
I'm going from Nasty James to Pastor James.
Deuteronomy. Coming out of
from
Deuteronomy.
Nasty to Pastor.
Because good pastoring, or whatever the word is 50% performance.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well,
you're really thinking, bring it back. Bring it back.
We're not thinking about.
I need to get a population, community. Catch my followers
to being a pastor.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like even open mics is a form of church. You know what I mean? When you're hosting and stuff. I think it's really just the crowd, the people, the reception, the message and everything.
Anybody that can manipulate the atmosphere can really be a pastor or anything you want.
Yeah, preaching. We all preaching.
Yeah, we all.
So, and I'm sure you.
I keep the soapbox in the car.
But to get past that stage fright, is that just multiple times just continuing?
I still have it.
Stage?
I still get the anxiety. I don't know what I would do without that anxiety. I probably just wouldn't care, honestly. And I felt that at shows that I just didn't respect what was going on, and I didn't care, and I hated my performance.
Yeah,
it was laissez-faire. I was like, man, I need to fright a little bit. I was like, I gotta keep it close. If I don't,
because that's what I always say. Hers, that, and I tell friends of mine too. I think it's the best thing for you.
Yeah,
that nervousness, that tension, that anxiety, because and you feel like that because, like you said, because you care.
Yeah.
If you don't care, you don't have that feeling because you're in a place where you're feeling probably too confident and cocky. You're like, oh, I got this. And you see it in any type of entertainment world, where it's an athlete or a musician or whatever, when, you know, that athlete wins the championship and the next year the team plays horrible because they just feel like they the shit.
And keep you on your toes, to keep you want to practice and everything like that. Because otherwise you just come out there, you're like, you're unrefined, you're untuned, you know, and you're just flying off by the wayside, you know. But I like to keep a little anxiety in my little small jean pocket, just in case I need it. I had a little bit before here. I had to take a little dose.
You did?
I did. I was like, I don't know what to expect. Hold on, where's my anxiety at? Somewhere.
Yeah.
No, but
that's good.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. I think you really have to stay uncomfortable. Like I hate complacency, even though I'm complacent in other aspects of my life. But this portion right here, I gotta, like, if I don't, because when I get comfortable, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not gigging. I'm not like. I like, what is that like? Is that vanity or conceit? I'm just sitting here just like feeling myself. I was like, ain't nobody else feeling this. I'm just sitting here. Yeah. So I gotta get, like, so last night I did a show. Shout out to Pink Moscato again. They invited me out. There was a hidden event at the Crown.
Okay.
So people like to put guitars, so just musicians, they don't really know where to put us. Like if you're a solo act, they really don't. So they have to put us in the front or for intermission or something like that. So I was like, not again. But it was cool. It was dope. You know, didn't know what to expect. You know, so I guess it kind of feels like improv. You know, because it's like, well, what am I gonna do? Nobody can tell me what I'm gonna do, so I got to create it. You know, I'm like, all right, I'm playing with the host and I'm starting to show off. I'm like, okay, cool. And then I was supposed to do my set and then lead into the fashion show. I was like, what the fuck? You guys want me to play with the models that's coming out? Thank God they actually started playing some music, like kind of in the beginning. But I started playing like Prototype by Outkast. As the designer had came out was talking and stuff. And so I was like, okay, cool, that's cool. But it was really dope, man. You know, people in the crowd were kind of, I don't know if you've been to the Crown, but
where is it at?
It's Carolina Theater, but the Crown is the attached to it upstairs, pretty much.
Oh, that's where I seen you with the reggae band.
Yeah,
okay,
right there.
That's the Crown.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wow. Shout out to T Walker too for inviting me out. I did a whole So Far sound tour with him up and down the East Coast. That was really crazy.
He was just on the show.
I saw
a few weeks ago.
Yeah. That was my reference. But I was like, okay, T Walker did this. All right. I know him. I was like, okay. All right.
It's like, okay, they might be okay.
Yeah,
like,
I was looking.
If he
you know, everybody needs a reference too.
Yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty much how, as we meet people and bring people onto the show, is all through references, people we had on the show who making those connections, you know, outside of just who we meet when we're out. So
because when I seen you at the Crown is when I started having the thought I need to get him on the show.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I hadn't heard. You look different because I remember you I remember you doing the band for the artist block, but it had to come back to me. So when I seen you at the Crown, I was just like, oh, who is this guitar player?
I'm a whole new person now.
Yeah. And I love that when you evolve. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I feel like a reference is stronger than a resume a lot of times.
Oh,
definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely,
cool.
because you have the relationship of the people. So like your relationship with T Walker. So if he says something to you, because you all have a relationship, there's a trust factor. That's there. So you're like, okay, I can go with that.
Speaking of T Walker and failed attempts. Like, he probably doesn't like that I bring this up though. But so when he was like first like starting to rap and stuff,
we post.
Shout out to T Walker.
Shout out to T Walker. But so he had him. It was him and another guy. I think it was like Cheddar Chap or something. I can't remember. It was Cheddar something. So they were trying to put together a band, right? And they had this big performance. I was like, this is my shot. I was always trying to make the band. I always was. It took like 4 years before I made a band, and that was with Sun Queen Kelsey. But I didn't make the band with T Walker. Is what I'm trying to say. And then he walks into the artist block like 5-6 years later, and I see him again for like the first time in all these years. And it was like, oh, yo, what's going on? And then, you know, we start working together after that. And so it's like, it's just funny. I was like, man, you ain't want to work with me. I was trash, though. When I was trash, you wasn't feeling. But I appreciate it. I love that guy. I mean, he's awesome, man. So every opportunity that he's given me has always helped me grow a little bit more. But I do like to tell that story. I remember one time we were in Jersey for one of the So Far Sounds joints. That was his 2020 tour. in 2019. This man's always thinking ahead. But I told this lady who was in the audience, it was after the show, I was like, yeah, man, I like playing with him, man. It was funny story. You know, I didn't make the band the first time. And then she goes over to him and says it. And he looks over like me, like, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, T. I won't tell it no more.
But you know what?
And you just showed it again.
And
I won't tell no more.
It's been recorded, so you know it happened.
It was your pain point. You can express how you feel.
He was just a part of it.
But to me, that's usually how it happens. There's Drake says in one of his songs too, where he said, you know, they didn't want to get him the track, the sound, you know, now, but they don't remember that story because they didn't think his rap was good when he was first starting off.
Yeah.
And so, you know, of course you want that track to rap off of it. And they was like, nah, you can't have that. And he was like sneaking it, trying to rap over top of it. And they wouldn't give it to him. And he was like, what did he say? He was like, but now nobody recalls that story. Now that you make it, don't nobody remember. Nah, I ain't never do that.
Like,
Like people are like, nah.
It's the same like with Kanye when he was getting his start in Dame Dash. Is it? Dame was not trying to get him to.
Because they just wanted him to produce. That's it. Yeah. It's like,
I feel that.
You have to push it.
You got to prove yourself.
You got to prove yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that because then when you get the acclamations, you appreciate it. Way more.
And one thing I realized too on top of that is like with these different generations, you got to reprove yourself.
Because you're not lasting long because memory fades away. So you got to continue to. And
then I realized, I was like, man, these up and coming artists, they weren't there when I was killing it back then or whatever. Right. I was like, dang, okay, so I gotta align myself with you guys. I was like, I see people in as I get older, I'm 33 now, so it's like I'm working with people that's 22. 21, 25. I was like, y'all wasn't even able to drink when I was out there performing at these different things. Like, y'all don't even know about this. You don't even know.
Weird? It is weird. I was there.
Getting old is weird. I'm saying.
It's a different experience.
Getting older, yeah. As time goes on, I was like, man, I feel like, you ever see like the time-lapse videos with like a rock or something like in nature and it's like move fast and you just like that, you're in that still place, but like time is really just hitting you. That's how I feel right now. I was like, man, it's like... how do I just pause this or something? Or like, just give me a time to think about it. I was like, let me
give me time to think about it.
Hold up, let me give myself the guy wasn't ready. I cannot redo what so
you just allow it to happen.
I know.
Allow it to happen.
I was thinking about, so you had made a comment when you was performing at the
Crown.
At the Crown, he was talking about, you know, being like your solo guitarist and everything. And I was thinking about, did you look at guitarists who were big like a Santana, like people who made, so you know, like there's a lane for you, and even you know, Hendrix started like that because he wasn't a singer. And I thought about that when you were saying you don't sing, but Hendrix wasn't a singer. Yeah, well, you know, they pushed him into singing, into being the in front of with the band. Bootsy wasn't a singer in the beginning. You know, so many guitarists. Just those few names that are you know more familiar for people who were not singers. Now Santana still didn't sing; he just played. You know, the guitar.
He actually got some songs. Like if you go through his discography.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's got some songs.
Okay,
a little bit. I mean, it ain't. I'm not gonna call it trash. But that's been my word tonight, I guess. But but yeah, he got a little something where he's putting little vocals on there, and I think every musician wants to sing and every vocalist wants to play an instrument. Yeah, it's like a duality. It's like we need each other. It's a symbiotic experience, you know. When you get up there, I don't know if it's envy or like, you know, just or jealousy or just like you just want to
do it all.
Yeah, you want to be a part of it. It's like, man, I wish I could do that too. But I think we all need that, something that inspires us, like, right? Yeah. Like, man, because if you didn't, I probably would never play guitar. It's like if I didn't want to do what somebody else was doing, it's like, man, you know. Yeah. But I mean, to your point, just to your question, like, I listened to Jimi Hendrix, Santana, Frank Zappa, Eddie Hazel, Jeff Beck, George Benson. I actually saw George Benson live in West Salem State.
Really?
Yes. Wow. That was actually amazing. I was like, I didn't know you could do guitar like this.
I didn't know George Benson did a guitar like that either.
Yeah, he's an amazing guitarist.
Really?
Yeah. And he talks about how he was giving his spiel about playing his licks every night, and he came up with his own stuff. I was like, yeah, because when I first started, I was like, I ain't learning no covers. I was like, fuck that. Right. I'm not gonna learn no cover, but you got to learn covers. Come to find out, just so people can know, be like, oh, that's cool. Just get the crowd going, and then you throw in your originals.
You come in with yours.
It's a whole art to it. You know what I mean?
So, question: with playing the guitar and you're creating an original, and you just title it a certain name off of just the instrumental. How do you name the originals?
Or is it inspired by an event, a person?
Yeah, I was like, I forgot where I was for a second, but with every girlfriend that I've had, a song comes from it. I ain't gonna lie, And it's funny. It's like, man. And shout out to women around the world, because I appreciate you guys. I mean, it's probably the biggest inspiration of my life, from my mom to everybody I've dated. So it's almost like it's kind of hard to make one that I'm really feeling, until I had that experience with somebody. But yeah, I mean, like my first song I wrote was like from my first girlfriend. And then I realized, like, dang, it's kind of it's a thing.
With no words, it's just instrumental.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. They got names, but I don't want to put the name with the person. Just out there, like.
But no lyrics.
No lyrics.
I should say,
No.
Now, is that almost too? And I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I was just thinking, is that like therapy as well? Like if it was a bad breakup, or it's just maybe. Just whatever went on in a relationship, and then you get it out through your music, and it allows you to move on.
I don't know. Now that you're saying, I'm like, is that what's been going on? I didn't realize. I thought it was me. Yeah, I was like, I thought it was just me. It was an ego trip, huh? I was like, and this is therapy. I was like, I didn't know this whole time. I take my hat off. Like,
it is.
Oh shit.
You was giving yourself therapy through your music.
Yeah, no. So just with the whole thing, like even now, it's like I don't like covers. And it was crazy. I've done hundreds, like it feels like hundreds of covers now, but I can't never remember them. But I've always practiced being able to just create on the spot. I always like the improv, like just the act of creation in itself. So like I'm at the point now. If you just give me like a chord, I could probably make a song off of it just right there. That's nice. And just working on it. But at the same time too, that just came from just trying to being in these uncomfortable spots and having to like, I got to do something now. They are looking at me. I have got myself up here. I was like, all right, okay, so we're going to do something. So now it's like from these feelings and stuff, I can create a song. And that's kind of how it works, really.
Well, and definitely see it. And I was just going to say, definitely see it just at the beginning of the show when, we were like, oh, kind of play something. You there was no hesitation. Like, there was no pause. It was just before we even finished saying what he was it was like, okay. So you could definitely see,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. Like I envy like actors and like singers and stuff. I've always wanted to do it, but I don't know. I feel like I've been acting my whole life. Just in my life. I've been playing me. Yeah.
I'm with you. Right? I'm with you. Yeah.
Sometimes you tweak your character a little bit.
Exactly.
Here we go. We need to.
Like I said, you tweak yours a lot from when I see you at the artist block to now,
Yeah.
Your dress, your style is totally different.
It is crazy. It's actually like going backwards. I used to dress like this all the time. Like in high school and stuff like that, like just being really sharp and stuff. And then it was like, with nobody feeling that, I was like, I guess I gotta like dress down now.
Yeah,
it just comes like full circle. Yeah, it was crazy. I appreciate my dad for telling me like what's classic and stuff. I was like, man, he was like button ups. That's always gonna be a thing, bro. Just get. I was like, I'm in like middle school, like button up. I was like, I don't want church clothes. But
because when you came in with the purple blazer, that's the first thing I know. I'm like, I was like, that's sharp. Because I'm like, is that plum? Like I'm thinking, like, is that plum?
Mauve? No.
I was like, so
with the blue,
so for everyone you missed it, he came in, he's still sharp, but he took it off.
It's hot, especially with the shots. I was like, we drink. I was like, I got to come out.
But when you came in through the door, I was like, okay.
No, when he was outside with the guitar, like when I pulled in, he was on the corner. In front of the building, and he had his guitar like across his shoulder.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I need to take a picture of that.
Try to be like, what's his name? Robert Johnson, The Crossroads. I swear one day I'm gonna be at some like desert area with a crossroads. I'm gonna get that pic one day. I probably gotta go get it because I probably won't find myself out there like a little nervous, like can't get no signal. But
I think it's time we all empty.
We're gonna do.
I appreciate it. I felt like I projected my thoughts. I was like, I think we.
I looked over, so no, I noticed yours is empty first, and then I looked and I saw SpeaX was empty, and I was like, okay, that's why I started sipping more of mine. I was like, let me catch up.
I actually tried to not be empty first. I was like,
oh no!
I don't want us to look like.
We had. Oh look, it was so funny when we did the show with Black Vibe. She was like, I can't have no more drinks. I can't have no more.
Done.
As she's talking, she's taking more sips of the drink, and hers is lower than anybody else's. I'm like, okay. And then they came in with these shots. Yeah, and we just kept going at that point.
You know, people like lean the glass on here. I'm always gotta be like, did you dip a little bit more?
Yeah.
To lower the glass. Like, catch us. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are we gonna do another toast with this one?
I think. Did he get that toast? What you said?
It's recorded.
Yeah, because he was already recording.
Okay, so we can do another one.
I will say if you want to, we could do it again. But let me see.
You could call it Kirk Hammett for the Metallica vodka.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wait, hold on.
Hold on.
For the product placement. Yeah. All right.
I guess I need right here.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I feel it. Shout out to Metallica.
Yeah.
I hope you guys check this
for
post
everyone.
out.
It is really good. Like we were, because you don't know, just because the band and their music does not always relate to other things that they try to do.
I'm gonna tag them on Instagram.
For real. Shout out to Metallica's social media manager. You'll probably be the first person to see this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We would love you as a sponsor.
Yeah, one thing me and my friends started doing is like, how do we get into these places of like the Castle McCullough or like the Crown, stuff like that? You reach out to their social media, man. They'll get you in contact with the owner and the managers and the bookings and stuff like that. I met I tagged the Live in the Crown. Was it Live at the Crown? I think that's their IG. Okay. And then they reposted. And when they reposted, I was like, oh, you done started a little thread, didn't you now, huh? And I was like, oh, I can't wait. I was like, I can't wait to see you at the show. I don't even know who I'm talking to. Right. Really. You know what I mean? She's like, oh, da-da-da. And then she drops her personal page. I was like, bet, cool. Yeah. And now I realized, oh, you're the sound person. I was like, okay. She walks up, hey, Colin. Calls me by name. I was like, probably check my page out. She like those thirst traps? No, but.
Now, is Kolin James your real first and last name or stage name?
Kolin James Robinson is my full name.
Okay.
Yeah, Robinson just had too many syllables.
Yeah. The Kolin James
is perfect.
Like, it sounds like a name that you created to be because the way it flows.
I'm gonna tell you where it came from.
Okay, let's do it. Let's jump
Shout out to the women in my life. But
because it's
now
so
I want to hear. Now I want to hear.
I'm not gonna tell. So there was a phase. I was like, I was feeling myself for a time. I was young and dumb. And so, I was having a lot of experiences, recurring experiences with different people. Almost to the point where I almost started charging,
Yeah. It needs to be
Why not?
Yeah, it was going to be $150.
I know you already had the dollar amount.
It was twice a week. No, and through this phase of mine.
Is that the name that you was using?
Yeah, I got something to say when you finish because it reminds me of an artist. It reminds me of art, and you got this feel too that reminds me of an artist too.
It was this. How do I say this? She would just call me James. I was like, what? And then you have fans, as artists, just being in the spotlight in general. There's people that see you more, so it's like you got more reach and stuff. So people would be like. Just say James. I was like, man. So I was trying to figure out what my name was going to be. I went through a couple different names. I was going to be like Rise. I was going to be Resonate. I was going to be a couple different people. And then my friend was like, stop. He was like, it's my friend AJ again. Shout out to AJ Gore on Instagram. He was like, stop trying to recreate stuff, man. Just be you. I was like, oh shit. I was like, damn. And I always hated my name growing up. You know what I mean? And I was always getting picked on. I hated the first day of school every year on name call. They'd be like, it was... The name game,
but it's different. But it's because of that. It's its own self.
You got to own it.
Yeah, and that's why it's like you don't forget it. Like when I saw it, it was just I could recall it every time. Because it's unique. And like I said, it's a smooth transition from Kolin to James. It just flows.
So it came out, in one of these excursions, and I was like, I like that.
I like that.
Yeah,
I was like, ain't nobody said my name like that before.
Yeah,
I was like. I had a little ego trip, but
hey, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Say it again.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Exactly. Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah. What's my name?
What did it say it again?
What? Then you're like,
Yeah, exactly.
one more time. But,
Shout out to that young lady that gave him his
Thank
name.
you. Thank you. Okay. You made it happen.
I told myself I'd never tell this.
We're gonna blame it on Black and Metallica.
Hey, got me. I know. I was like, man, y'all done pulling me to my roots. I'm telling it all now. I'm like, eat you
I
Hollywood
was wondering.
story.
I was like, is that his stage name?
Yeah.
Real
It
name?
is. So I mean, yeah. And then so I was just like, okay, Kolin James. That's gonna be it. Because it really was just like James. And I've always ignored my middle name only because like my dad had the same one, and then the way our names, like me and my brothers, our names were put together were from names from other people in the family. So I was just like, man, I can't be myself. Like I don't never get my own, you know. And maybe that ties to me trying to do this whole thing on myself, trying to create a name for myself. So Kolin James really was what I stuck with. I was like, okay, cool, we can do this. It sounded good. I was like, all right, we're gonna run with it. And then it kind of just went with the look, I guess, and it made me feel like this like old school guitars. I was like, all right, we're gonna do it. So I started putting on the suspenders and stuff. I was like, you know,
it does. It's all. It all just fits. But what I was going to say earlier, when you was talking about with the name and the whole experience and how it came about, it reminded me of the story I heard about with Lenny Kravitz, and he talked about when he would be out in hotels and everything, he used his name Romeo. That was his name when he was out.
Oh, we're talking about aliases. So I got on OnlyFans, I'm Carlos. But I don't got no content. You said okay.
You ain't got no content?
Not just yet. I actually, when OnlyFans started, I'm not gonna lie, transparent moment, I probably dropped a couple $100 off of Thurston for a little while. I was like, this is a new thing, you know what I mean? And then so
I know some men that they only deal with OnlyFans. Women,
so we thought about that too. Me and my friend, we was like, we're gonna just probably, because we was like, we're gonna deal with content creators and artists. Like we can just deal with like OnlyFans women and just interview them and then talk about, you know, their brand and stuff like that. But that's probably in the making and come. And I don't know. I keep trying to take my shirt off, so I'm trying to stay away from it. I was like, maybe not. It's just I don't know why.
But what are your future plans?
Thank you for taking me away from that.
I know. Okay. I was interested in that because I was like, look,
tell me more, bro.
I was like, maybe we need to get some OnlyFans.
That's what I was thinking. Note to self. I was like, I need to check out.
Because
I have a page, but I don't put nothing.
You don't put nothing. Yeah. See, we got to do that.
Oh, so you have subscribed to some stuff.
Yeah.
There's no shame in the game.
That's why I say it's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
There's a show right now that they do a lot of their guests because they talk about relationships and the dynamics between men and women, and a lot of the women that are on the show come from OnlyFans, and I can't think of the name of the show. It's two guys.
You know,
I got friends that I don't, but I got a lot of friends that do OnlyFans too. So they make money though.
They make serious money.
And they run to relationships, and they be like, they stopped it doing it, and they missed the money. And,
they do good. It's one of those situations where I feel like personally, in my opinion, the man has to be truly secure to date that woman that's doing that. Because it's just their business. You know what I'm saying? It's just their job. That's how their way, their source of income.
But I'll check that out. But my question was, in the future, where do you see yourself going, or what is your goal, if it's any goal or not? But
really, and my friend asked this at the end of the show, where you see yourself in the apex of your career. And for me, it's like not playing guitar.
Okay.
Honestly. Really?
Yeah, like I want to develop a personality to where I would really love to be in a movie, honestly.
Okay.
You know, a lot of artists go into acting. You know what I mean? I want to get away from music, because I feel like music can kind of be a trap, especially for us. You know, it's like you just kind of get stuck, and it's like I realized the past like 10 years it's a cycle. of just trying to be in the spotlight. Gotta stay with her. Like I remember Kanye saying like he keeps doing the music just so he can be relevant.
Yeah.
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? To do everything else that he wants to do. So I actually make jewelry.
Okay.
I
was going to say, so what type of business? Because you went to that to acting. So I'm like, what outside of the entertainment industry? That is nice.
I've been making jewelry for 10 years. I remember when I couldn't sell a bracelet for $3 for gas money.
That is really nice. So I will buy some from you.
Yeah. So now I've refined it from like wood, leather, Now gemstones.
So you make it like once somebody order it. So you don't have some.
No,
that you
I do. I thought about bringing it. I was like,
why did not?
It was a lot in the hand though. Walking around, and I was like, I'm getting low key hot.
I would have purchased something right now.
Word.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll come back to the car.
Other shows where like
if they
Black
bring their products,
Dante. I mean, I keep want to say Dante Denzel with his wine. Like they bring their products, and we'll usually follow them.
You should have went on your first instinct.
Yeah.
This is one I just made here. That's African turquoise with gold plated hematite.
See. Look at that.
Yeah.
That is real nice.
I remember I used to make bracelets up and they would always break. My friends.
So you could feel the weight. Yeah.
And it's real stones. I mean, you could wear it in the shower, things like that. You know, a lot of like stuff you get from like Michaels and stuff.
What's the significance of the stones?
Oh, you gonna hold on.
Okay.
This when you drink too much, you can't remember.
Look, it's because we're on that second, and these are like double shots. You know, so we're just gonna say SpeaX did that. She giving us double shots. That wasn't a single shot.
So the turquoise is good for like luck, peace, and protection. And then hematite itself, that's my main stone that I use. It's really good for grounding, clarity. You've got a lot of chaotic thoughts, stuff like that. That's why I wear it around the neck. I normally do one that's like black. All is hematite gold.
With the black?
Am I telling this? So raw hematite is actually black and it's red on the inside.
Because I just bought some.
Most.
I was like, wait. Okay, go ahead.
This is just like a little jewelry fact, right?
Okay.
When it comes to gemstones, most minerals and like stuff that you buy is mixed down and it's low key synthetic. You know, so it'll have the essence of it, you know, in the stuff. So like,
that's how they increase the inventory to sell even more.
Right.
Of it
they crush it down.
Yeah.
And then so I realized too, I was like, okay, there's a whole thing of like, you know, it's like grade AB, and there's different levels to like the quality of it. So the closer you get to the raw from where they found it, you know, like a raw diamond to the store is like the quality of it. And so that's how they grade it. And it costs more, of course, right?
Yeah.
But then you get like stores like Alibaba and Panda Hall and all this type of stuff. And now they're, you know, you got some sweatshop with some poor kids that's really pouring their life into it, you know, and it's like, it's just mixed down. And mass produced, really, essentially.
Wow.
And that's what it is, that mass production. Yeah. Because that's how they're making, you know, the money.
So a question, because this will be your side business. So, on your page, is it any reference towards your jewelry?
It used to be, but now I took those off. And then because I was doing stuff from like wood. I was taking like feathers and turning them into necklaces and stuff. And like I mean, I'm really just an artist, honestly. The guitar was like a secondary thing, but that's what people like. So I was like, all right. But no, I have another page. It's just in the works right now.
But no, I was like, I don't think it'll be anything wrong with collaborating the same page. But you just like, if you're performing and you have on some of your jewelry, you just say wardrobe at. But like the name of your jewelry. And then people will start clicking on it.
So I mean, and you know. When you're doing it yourself, you know what I mean?
That part.
It's like, I was like, okay, so now
that's a lot of work.
My friend just gave me a light box too, like a little box to do for product photos and stuff like that. He just gave it to me like last night. So yeah, that's, you know, I'll take like whiteboard, like archival matte board that's white and just create a little thing and with the phone and everything, you know. So and then from there, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm probably falling behind on like promoting the merch. You know, I vend a lot. You know what I mean? So a lot of times I'll like, if you know, a lot of organizations probably don't have the money to pay artists. So I'm like, okay, well, I've been doing this for a long time. I can't keep doing this for free. Well, if I can vend, I'll perform. And I'm like, okay. So
that's good.
Yeah, you know, you just work it out.
And
working on the online setup.
And it's always that there's a starting point for everybody. And again, I love hearing you speak through it and talk about all the dynamics of it, because I think that's where some people lose that drive, because, you know, they run into a wall, or, you know, they run into an obstacle where they're like, because it requires more of your time, more of your energy that you got to expend to get certain things accomplished. So hearing you talk through, like, you know, I revamped my page, and I love too how you give shout out to the people who are assisting you and getting you to where you are. Because I always say to people, you know, I'm not a fan personally of people who say, you know, I did it all myself, because I feel like there's nothing accomplished alone. Everything you do, regardless if it's an athlete who you wouldn't have played the sport if someone didn't give you the football, or someone didn't say, even if it was your parents saying you need to do something this summer, I'm gonna put you on the team.
You can't even come into this world by yourself.
Exactly. There is nothing done alone. You still have to put in the effort, and you have to be the one that has that personal drive to keep it going. But we're supported by so many,
true.
So it's so good to hear, and you acknowledge those people.
So who has been your biggest supporter throughout this journey?
Biggest supporter? Mm-hmm. I would say in the last year and a half, my biggest supporter has been my friend AJ Gore.
Okay.
It's been the biggest one. Before that, I was with my friend Ron with Vibe Function, who's a nonprofit. And he would have been with me too, man. He really just started working like the late night shifts at the hospital and stuff. Like that's where it really started. Me and him was grinding from school, and my goal is to bring him back into where he doesn't have to do what he's doing, like to work the job so he could be more free. Cause but you just you can't stop. You know what I mean? Man. And I know, I wish he could be here with me even now. He may even feel some type of way, honestly, for not being able to be here. Just during the past year and a half.
So that's a good point. Do you feel like I'm trying to think how the best way to word this. Like your movement and you continuing to push forward, and with you having pushing forward to stick to what Kolin James is looking to accomplish and to become. Some of the people that you had to keep going from, and they stood there. Is there any look backs to that to say, maybe I could have waited a little longer
every day, man.
For them?
I do this. I don't know if you ever heard like recapitulation. It's like you kind of. I'm gonna sum it up. Like every day, I look back through my whole day every night. As I'm laying down, and I just re-experience those moments of energy, like giving out or loss and things like that. People that I've dealt with, anybody I hurt, anybody I offended, and I just try to learn from that.
That's good.
Yeah. Shout out to the book The Art of Dreaming by Carlos Castaneda. That's a whole nother thing. But
The Art of Dream.
The Art of Dreaming.
Art of Dreaming.
Yeah, yeah. He talks about his journey and his 13-year stint with a Mexican sorcerer and everything like that. But it's kind of crazy. But so I do this every night, and I think about these people. I think about everything. Like you ever feel like you wonder why you keep thinking about like these trauma and these triggers and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. It's because you really haven't processed it. The pain is really the experience of not processing what you've gone through. So now it hurts. Because you feel heavy, right? But like in moments where you're really elated, everything feels really light.
I was just saying that yesterday. I was like, I feel so light.
You're not re-experiencing getting beat by your parents from 10 years ago, reliving it. It's like we're constantly in like the past, present, and future at the same time, trying to these multidimensional beings. But I think about it all the time, man. I think about, and then from there, it's like, well, if it keeps coming to me, well, what am I supposed to do? Okay. Like, why is it still coming? You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I can bring it back, or maybe I can do something to include it. And then, for myself, I'd be like, now I processed it, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. So yeah, I do. I think about it every night, man.
Yeah, every night. And I love that that self-evaluation. We talked about it on so many episodes on the show, as far as discovering who you are.
Cheaper than therapy.
In my opinion.
Cheaper than therapy. Yeah.
Discovering you and accepting you. And we always, one phrase we use all the time is peeling back the layers to truly know who you are. And it's like, once you get to that point, the way you maneuver and navigate this world is so different once you get there. But it takes work.
It does.
Yeah. I always say it's not an overnight, because you didn't become who you were overnight. And those things you got to work on takes time, but it's sticking to it. And the biggest thing is like what you're doing is that self-evaluation, really evaluating who Kolin James is, who Martin is, who SpeaX is, and with the purpose of getting better, because I always say we're just constantly evolving. And that's a part of the life we're living, is that evolution.
Man. I think go ahead.
I was gonna say, when you was talking about just processing it and you feel lighter, I do feel like we go throughout life holding on to so much energy. And I think, in my opinion, this, illnesses that a lot of people experience is just trapped energy that manifests itself physically. Man. within our bodies, because it's just energy has to go somewhere. And if you're holding on to it because you're not processing it, you're not releasing it, you're not looking at it and just sitting in it, so it just stays in you. And I think if a lot of others would know or be aware to just process it and let go, it will be a lot less of illnesses that, especially our community, that we go through.
I was like, we're taking a little turn here. Let's go to the holistic realm. All right.
But that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
So my mentor gave me this book, and I think I gave it to somebody else, and I wish I never did it. But maybe I'm paying it forward. All right. I love that movie, so I always try to do that. But he gave me this book. It was like everything's a symptom, right? Of the you experience, the cold, the snivels, and things like that. And then Western medicine, which really hasn't really been around that long, they kind of pushed the holistic healers away in the last like 150 years or so, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna go down the whole.
Let it be known.
So everything you experience, like our organs, they process information and everything like that. I mean, I've even like read to where like when you're eating, don't watch TV. Don't listen to music. You need to process that because your organs process information as well. And then like, everything that you experience is a symptom of something else. It's a manifestation from either your spiritual or emotional state into the physical, which is probably the most densest, form. And just to speak on what you said, I mean, I think I agree with you. Everything that you're going through, the trauma, cancer. I remember from the book, he was like, cancer is a bunch of regrets and repression.
Yes.
That's where it stems from. And then you think about it physically, it's like cancer, those cells are like from your free radicals that are just kind of like these malleable things, these weird malleable cells that can just turn into anything. Which is kind of crazy that we had that. It's like, so if my thinking and my processing of stuff can turn into cancer, like, well, what if I flip that? What can I turn it into Split? Right? The movie like well, I ain't bet up Kolin James. No,
I'm gonna try it.
I'm so with you that because I've always been one where it's like everything starts to me in the mind. Like if I can think it, then I can let that manifest into what I want it to be, because it's so powerful. And again, like you said, we got so much going on within this body. There's so much that goes on that we don't even know about, just as far as all the stuff living on us, all the things, like even the things that are eating the dead skin off on us. Right now, as we're conversating, it's all this going on. Like, we have millions of things happening to keep this body functioning.
We are one big like eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell. You guys remember that from school? Like the plant cells and and then you think about it's like, those are like little Earths, little planets right there.
Oh yeah.
Maybe think about like Men in Black. You guys remember the first one when he opened the locker, and it was just like, I was like, oh god. And I don't know if you guys realize the government, the CIA, if you ever go to their website, they actually posted, they're like, oh, aliens are real now. And this is like from the fourth.
In the past year.
The past year. But it's like,
even though we've been saying
we were saying it, but now it's there. It came on the news for like a split second, but now it's like, oh, nobody's talking about it anymore.
No, they're really talking about Kanye.
You guys ever watch like Gaia TV?
Yeah, I love Gaia. I subscribe. Okay. It's a good.
I'm gonna leave that there.
Put it out there so people, if you want.
GAIA.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah, it's a good streaming platform to watch when you're into different type of information that you want to learn. But talking about the our cells and things, I've always thought that like our bodies it's like a form of a universe, and then like all of the cells within is like this different star systems, different networking systems, but it's all relevant.
Embryo, bro. Was Osmosis Jones? You remember that?
This is where the process came from. Like when I was younger watching Osmosis Jones.
But it's like, they say like our makeup is like a star, and like we're the similarities, like, and I always say to you, like, we come from like this planet, like we're made up from this planet. That's why we are attached to this planet. It's the same reason why, in my opinion, that's why if we leave this planet, we need all these tools to allow us to maneuver and breathe. And like if we go to another planet, we can't breathe in that planet because we didn't come from that planet. We wasn't born out of that planet. Because we were born out of this planet, then we're one with the planet. So we can breathe, we can do all the things, we can function the way we need to function. As soon as we leave this and go somewhere else, now we're stepping into a different type of domain where now we need tools. So we need to wear these outfits and everything because everything is different from that planet. Now we would have came out of that planet.
We would have been made.
You know, I don't really think our physical bodies were really meant to leave this planet, but I do. You know, we're getting real esoteric now.
Bring it. Yeah.
We're multidimensional beings. If you believe in chakras and things like that, that's different. It's a whole bunch of different bodies. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever like dealt or dabbled in like astral projection or tried to.
I've been doing
we've had it on so real quick.
She's
doing that. But I know. But to say they say,
I've been doing this since I was a little
they
girl.
say before the body, we were energy. First, and then the body. But go ahead. But
so I dropped the gem, right? The Art of Dreaming. So there's 3 books you should go and read. It's The Art of Dreaming, The Fire Within, and The Teachings of Don Juan. Carlos Castaneda was like the dude, like in the 60s and 70s, you know, who was like, they don't know if he died or disappeared. Nobody really know, you know. But he was with this guy, and he was a real source. It's like a real story, you know. And they talk about like becoming one and developing like your energy body. They talk about dreaming, and they talk about the astral realm and things like that. But in the form of like practice, it's Native American practices, you know. So they've done like ayahuasca. And peyote, and they talk about like going and like getting permission from the plants and stuff like that, finding the right one. They were scounging the desert for the right plant.
I want to try the ayahuasca. But go ahead. Yeah,
man.
Have you done it?
No.
Okay.
No, I haven't. Because it's the whole thing. You gotta like purify yourself first and things like that. I'm like, man,
you know, you're with somebody, so you're going through it with someone who knows what they're doing.
And then you start thinking about like everything that you're intaking and like different man, I don't even know. So I'm about to start stumbling over my words, but like I'm a little excited. I was like, nobody asked me about this. But,
look, we talk about it all the time.
Right. So you have let me say this. So like I feel like even different emotions that we have, different things that like kind of get on our shoulder, like these albatrosses that we carry from day to day, whether it be like vanity, regret, these negative emotions, that they are like certain entities that kind of come over. My mentor was talking to me about he was calling them like the flyers and stuff. Have you ever look like Constantine, like the movie, or if you watch a lot of anime? You guys remember the old show like Spirited Away? Those animes, these are
I'm not an anime person.
I know that's going into another round, but anyway, it's just like different entities that we should be able to see that we normally don't. In the book, they talk about like, you know, everybody being in this agreement, because as a kid, you're probably more open and stuff like that, right? And we kind of just toss away kids that say they can see stuff or do things. It's like, no, because we're really just fixing each other all in this one reality. We're all like really assimilated to this one focal point, and it's really called like the assemblage point, right? And it's different ones. And in the book, they talk about like in your dreams being able to navigate and move these assemblage points to certain ones. So like if you wanted to, right, you had a really good dream and you want to have that dream again, you would have to be able to manually fix that assemblage point to that spot again. And so I used to have like recurring dreams.
Everybody could do that.
Yeah,
everybody can, and it's a discipline. You know, I used to have recurring dreams for a long time, for like about 5 years. The same thing, and it was like 3 different worlds. I had 3 different special abilities there, but it was really just me saving people over and over every night. It was like, what's going on, you know? And so the book really helped me, because I was like, oh, so this is what's happening, you know? And I have one after my dad died. I have it till this day. He died in 2012. It's in like a park or a field, and it's a recreation center, and we go and play basketball, and I give him I ask him questions, real-time advice all the time, and he answers it, you know. And I've been having this same like experience for the past like 10 years, you know.
And you're asking questions that's relevant to your life. So every time you have this dream, you're having different questions that he's answering. So for me, that wouldn't be dreaming. Yeah, that would be more so of visiting a different realm or premonitions or.
Thank you for that bridge.
Yeah.
So in the book, they call it the second attention. Okay. This is, so what we're in now is the first attention. This is the second attention. You know? So so just to your point before about like leaving this planet, it's like you can do that in different dimensions. And they even talk about this guy. There's a whole crazy story about it, but about doing that, you know, and having these experiences and not casting away his dreams. But they also talk about too, like, how to differentiate if it's just a random dream that's like a self-reflective thing, or if it's like a true experience, outer body experience, or things like that. So it's they really go into these different disciplines of like really trying to. And
I need to read this book, just to see if because I don't read any books on it. Actually, it's just been in the past 3 years I've started hearing things that I just experienced it, myself, and was going within to try to figure out what I was experiencing. Didn't really kind of tell people about it, but I do know for me, I could tell if it's a dream to reflect on myself, or if I'm, actually in a different dimension or world, or astral projection by the energy I feel around me, because the pressure is different. So I feel a different type of energy when I'm like, the astral projection is more it's heavy. But when I'm doing like just dreaming to reflect on myself, and I become aware, I'm dreaming, and so now I'm taking notes, so I can do it. So it's just like a different feeling.
Right, so just to kind of throw a homework assignment in there for you guys, right?
Okay.
This is one they say in the book. When you go to bed tonight and you're in your dream, try to look at your hand.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just try to look at your hand. Because I look in the mirror. I gotta find a mirror. Well, if I'm dreaming, I'm going to find a mirror.
All right.
Because sometimes if I look into the mirror, my reflection is not me as I see myself.
Nice.
It'll be
well,
different. But I'll try to look at my hand.
You gotta look at your hand. All right. Attention is power. That's why the media, the government, they fight for it now. They talk about brainwashing. If you guys ever seen like the commercials of Apple from like the 80s, they talk about this whole simulated world. It's like, because your attention is everything. Awareness is everything. You're here and now. That's what everybody's always fighting for. Advertisements. That's why it's so big and things like that. So if that's the case, like even in your dreams, just building your awareness. You ever see you see somebody like, you sleep, you not woke. You see somebody like you like
all
like
the
an
woke
NPC.
people are asleep. Like, hey,
you're like an NPC in the game. Like you just out here just living your life, huh?
Just like a robot. Yeah,
because they're not, and then when they wake up, they was like, well, my whole life has been, So it's kind of the same thing. Like if this is just another reality, and dreams is not really dreams. It's like an intention. It's like you just wake up. Now it's like I'm actually here. And you start thinking, I'm like, whoa, I really haven't been paying attention to my life for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
That right there.
That was a scary experience. So the thing is to I did that.
Store your energy, semen retention, even if it comes to tantric sex, you know what I mean? You just have to like save that energy up. And like, that's what recapitulation is about, is recapturing that energy loss from you, like feeling hurt or feeling taken advantage of, feeling traumatized or hurting somebody else. Being out of control in a sense, bringing that back so that way you can really be in full awareness at all times. And it's like living life on shrooms, I would say, if you've ever done it before.
Yeah.
If you ever done shrooms, you'd be like, I am so me right now.
Exactly. That's what shrooms do. That's what shrooms do.
That's so me right now. So
me.
You can experience life like that without because that's just medicine.
It's a form of medicine, right?
And that they talk about the fact that back in the day, you think about some of the philosophers. The philosophers and everyone, they were all doing shrooms, acid. There was all those things so they could tap into.
Why do you think it's considered treason now to do like?
I know it is, and because of that, it's like we're limited. Yeah, I'll take some more. I'm with you. But it creates that that limitation, and you're not tapping into things. So, but it's man,
Now you talk about like fluoride in the water. While the pineal gland is being attacked.
They say that calcified. All of that is a block. It's getting rid of that third eye that you have, and it's purposely done.
Well, if you want to control the people,
exactly,
you can't have them be smart.
No,
you can have them be academically smart with the system that you created,
and that's the thing.
But you don't want them to know themselves.
Yeah, it's like we're already metahumans, and it's like trying to repress the gene. So I was like, man, I don't know if you guys ever realized how Hollywood, my mentors calls it reportage.
Okay,
he says like it's like Steven Spielberg, quote unquote, had like a contract with like the government to like report certain things. Like remember Fifth Encounter, was it Third Encounter? Fifth Encounter, Third Kind or something like that.
Yeah.
That movie that came out, that first real big alien movie of like us encountering humans. It's like, well, if they're real, and it says it on now on the CIA on the website now. We see Men in Black. I was like, well, they've been telling us this whole time.
Yeah.
If nothing new under the sun.
Well, that's, I feel like in Hollywood and, the writings, with the screenplays that they produce, has it definitely has been infiltrated by what they want you to see and hear, and what they're okay with you seeing and hearing. And so at a point when it comes to, why you didn't tell us, we was telling you in the films all the time. And I think that is their contract. This is just me rambling. I think that that's their contract, that they do have to reveal what happens to the people, because I think everyone is governed by a certain type of contract that they have to go by the rules. So I mean, I don't know who's above them, but in their contract it says you have to give these guys bits and pieces through some type of platform, and they use it through movies.
Do y'all know where the word media comes from?
No. Interesting.
It's from like Greek mythology. It was like this this being, right? I think she could like control illusion or something of what you see.
Really?
Yeah, and so they tied in there. I mean, that's where the original word
but
media
that relates to the way
from.
I see media. Like,
and media is control. They control what you see,
right? To get
But we don't have to believe it.
No, but again, it goes back to so we've talked about this on the show a lot. We feel like the majority just want to follow because it's easy to follow.
It is. It's easy to be asleep, go to bed, lay down.
To be an individual and to kind of step outside of the crowd. That's different because all eyes become on you, and a lot of people don't want that. And again, I always say, to me, you can then point the blame. So if you're following, so let's say Kolin James has your pastor, you have a following, and we're part of the congregation. If something goes wrong, I don't have to take ownership. I can say it's because I'm following Kolin. I'm following Pastor James, and that's why this work. So that way you don't take accountability. I think that's what a lot of people want to do. They don't want to take accountability, so they follow and put it on others.
I appreciate you saying that, man. That shot me back to something my dad told me. I remember because I was born and raised in the church. I've been like Methodist, non-denominational, Kojic. Amy Zion, you name it. You know, I've been through all of them. So it's like one thing I asked my dad, I was like, is what we doing really right? Like, I mean, I was like, what happens? How do we know this is real? And you know, he told me, he was like, well, worst case scenario, if it's not real, we're good. If it is real,
we're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
I was like, you got a point there. There. And then I told him too, I was like, this was after college. I was like, I feel like I just kind of lost faith in the church. He was like, well, if you put your faith in the church to begin with, you put it in the wrong place. And I was like, well, he's like, you're supposed to put your faith in God. He's like, really, church is just, you're the temple. You know, the church, the physical building itself is just a place for us to congregate. You know what I mean? And I realized I used to watch this movie called The Kingdom of Heaven. I don't know if you guys remember that movie where Orlando Bloom. But anyways, in the movie, he's like a Knights Templar from like the Constantinople like raid and stuff time frame, and he's like this real true honest dude, and he's like really just trying to live righteously, but within the church that's like so corrupt, and they're realizing that like, man, we're doing all this stuff for the church itself, you know what I mean? That's controlled by like the Pope and stuff. So it just made me think, I was like, man, the kingdom of heaven is really within the hearts of men and women, you know. You walk around. That. And I was like, dang,
the kingdom of heaven is within.
Yeah, I was like, but if you live your life in the church building your whole life, you're never going to experience life. I was like, you know.
But that's the point.
We spend this whole time in the church, but we never go out and like do outreach, our real mission. You know what I mean? Like, we're all missionaries. But so I just had this whole ordeal with the church. I was like, man, you know what? So I mean, for me, the new church for me was like open mics. It's like going to the club for like experiencing people. It was wherever anybody was at. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and then you need to have your same like constitution within yourself to not be weary. Like, you got to really stand on your beliefs. Even as when it came to being an artist, I was like, well, who am I? I didn't know how to go figure that shit out. You know what I'm saying? And then I found myself like being utilized in different ways. And I was like, well, how do I want to be utilized? I was like, because now it's getting out of hand. Now I'm getting pimped by the pastor.
Right.
I'm like,
playing music for free.
Playing music for free. I'm getting put at the beginning of shows when nobody's there. I'm like, what's going on here? I was like, what do I even want out of this? You know, to bring it all back. But I mean, that was the whole journey. I was like, man, it was really spiritual to begin with. And then I was like, well, I've always been a fan of discipline, even though certain disciplines kind of fell by the wayside as I got older. But it was like, well, I know how to work hard. That's the best thing I'm good at. Yeah. And then, that just kind of brings me here to sit on this couch with you guys.
I love that. And as we wrap up, I do love that, I don't want to say spiritualist because it's a whole trendy thing going on right now.
I hate all that shit.
Oh
they
my
commercialize
God. How you anybody that like shows me that I'm a spiritualist and I do this. That's the ones I'm like.
After Dr. Sebi died, it was a wrap.
You're using that to get attention. So beware of those people. You're using it to get attention because you're filling some voids that I don't know. But
you ever get those DMs where they be like, you need a reading?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
I saw your page. You don't got no followers.
Yeah.
Right. Ask me if I need a reading. Leave me alone.
Fuck, it's a Foon Day.
But it's refreshing when someone comes in, you can't read them. You don't know if they're about, just being a musician or not. And then going through the layers and you revealing to us that you do artwork with the Stones, which led to the energy, which led to the conversation that we was just having. That gives me the understanding of a little bit of the person that you are.
Exactly.
That is
not
refreshing.
Just a musician, but the individual.
Yeah, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate you guys.
Yes, but I would like you to let us know where your social media handles where we can follow you.
Yeah, actually, if you type in Kolin with a K, Kolin on any social media platform, I come right up.
Okay.
I'm the first one that comes up. I didn't realize. I was like, man, okay, with the K, it was crazy. There's a Kolin James with a C.
Yeah.
He's a Caucasian guy, man. He's great. He's great on guitar. Yeah. He probably tried to look it up. I was like, this is not him. But he's really dope, man. I was like, he's been playing this for like 20 years. I was like, dang, I'm glad I'm with a K. I was like, I may have to reach out to him. Can you change your name? Because artists do that. You know what I mean?
Really?
Like, when you go to search on like Spotify, Apple Music, and you like trying to figure out, because I was trying to create a name for this for my band and everything. We were going to be Experience. It was going to be XP.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, is that name taken? Is it on like the Better Business Bureau at this point? I was like, I didn't find it. So
now, is it just XP, or is it, because when you said that, the first thing I thought about was Jimi Hendrix and the Experience.
Right. So people use it. So for me, it was going to be like the KolinMes Experience. But then I was like, man, is that really egotistical? Or maybe or maybe am I just trying to be that humble? I want to be so inclusive. I was like, it's gonna be Kolin James and the Experience.
Yeah.
And the band would be the Experience.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So then I was like, okay, I like that. That feels better doing it like that. And I was like, okay, I'm looking it up. So okay, the Experience, right? If I'm gonna call the band that, is it used already? So that's just how I started researching it.
And I like the XP. I like that. Yeah, that's a brand by itself.
Yeah. So that's in the making right now. Have you ever guys been to a So Far Sounds show?
No, but
anybody, you ever been?
I've heard.
I got to meet. You been to one? I got to meet the creator of it. I was out in Tennessee with T. Walker at the joint, and I got to meet him. He came. He flew into town just for this show. It was at a crazy house that was made out of everything inside was made out of music equipment.
Really?
Yes, everything from there was this chandelier light, and the pull cord was the XLR cable. Yeah, they had a slide from the top floor to the bottom floor. You could ride down. Every piece of furniture was everything was made of musical equipment.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was amazing. So he came in and he told us in person why he created So Far Sounds. He told us just the whole spill. So I got to meet him. Short guy, like this tall, man. He's like this tall. Yeah. But it was an awesome experience.
And go over what is So Far Sounds.
So Far Sounds is an event space where pretty much he got tired of not being able to hear the artists at bars and shows and stuff like that, over the crowd. So it's a really intimate experience, a subscription based service where you have three to four artists, and it's it's always sold out. Every show is sold out. They pay $100 per artist, and you can perform. I've done it so many times. I started to realize, I'm like, man, this is just a recreation of what we're all doing. But it's the way he's capitalizing up in monetizing. It's whether or not you come out or not, you pay for the service. You pay for the month. You may not come to the show, but you've already paid for the month, right?
Okay.
And you're guaranteed a really dope event every time.
Okay, wait. So you're paying monthly for the So Far
service.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so with that monthly payment, you're able to
come to the show.
Find out where that show is.
Okay.
Yeah. And
So, but you only know what the show is if you are a subscriber. Okay. So that's what makes it intimate.
I've done it from like dog bathing places where it's really like a dog grooming service. I was in there. It was funky. She tried to light that one little incense like it was going to make it smell better. I was like, bitch, you better put... And you know, my friend says I use that word a lot, but I'm like, yo, bitch, you better put that incense out. Like, you need more than that. I'm like, it was the skinny one too, not even the thick one from the gas station. I was like, it's still funky in here.
We need them that burns for over an hour.
They do random spots. So I was like, I love this idea, you know, and so I just want to recreate that honestly with the local artists that I know. So, and they have a So Far Sounds in almost every city. I've done one in Kentucky, Tennessee, New Jersey, Baltimore. I love Raleigh So Far Sound. The sound guy's amazing. I can't remember his name right now, but we always hit it off every time we see each other again. I've done it a couple times. But yeah. So I just want to recreate that experience with the people that I know and play with, you know, all the time.
Yeah, I like that. That's
I love it.
Good. Yeah.
And at the end of our show, we'll have you close out before we do our I am. But let me let you know what I am is I am, and then describe what you feel or what you are in this moment. So you'll say I am
tipsy. No,
that could be it. That could be it.
I like it. Yes. But don't do it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I appreciate that prep. Now I can think about it.
Just think about it.
But I would say definitely feeling good. This Blackened by Metallica is really good.
Really great. Yeah. It's whiskey, isn't it?
Whiskey? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's good. Yeah.
Okay, so let's close out.
So, as always, everyone, you can find us on every media outlet from Spotify to Apple to Anchor to YouTube, always just by putting in Broadbelt SpeaX. Also, you can find us on our IG page, which is Broadbelt_SpeaX, and then email. So we always like comments, suggestions, ideas. If there's a certain individual you would like to see on the show, or if it's just that you have questions about the show, you can reach us at broadbeltspeaks03@gmail.com. And again, we're in Flux Studios with the 3 decades going strong internationally known engineer Kurt, and we're not going to even get into what he did prior to this, but it might have dealt with some activities.
Kurt was a pimp in his past.
To let you know.
Yeah, I feel like he got a cane like in the closet with the hat. You know what I mean? It's like, bitch, where my money? Nah, stop.
Where my money, ho? Where my money?
It's a good look. He got a great look. It's just like
he does.
Like the white beard going on. Just put a hat up there. Give him that cane. Watch out. Kurt is in the room.
Iron pants with the crease in the front.
Love it.
Yes.
But oh my gosh. So I do want to say
with the crease in the
that this drink is a great drink. This is a great drink.
Shout out to Metallica.
It is. So surprised. And I'll say this too, Colin. This is one where every time we've had guests on the show, we always talk about having a drink and put that out there. Kurt always mentions this, and we always avoid it.
We do.
We always avoid it. And today with you and the energy, the vibe and everything that we was getting was like, okay, let's do it. And then
I think you suggested it.
Yeah.
He mentioned it. I was like, fuck it, let's do it, man.
With your suggestion and the fact that you had listened to their guitarist, just all those things. And then the taste is like, shit, it's really good.
The whole experience now. I am drinking Metallica.
Yeah. So,
It's good. It's good. Right. So, so definitely thank you guys for watching. But before we close out, we're going to do our I Am segment. And we're going to start off. We can start off with you, Broadbelt.
Okay. I'll start it off. I would say I am open to experiencing life.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing that.
Yeah. with that Colin takes a sip.
Yeah, I'm going last.
All right,
I am excited. I am playful. I am grateful, and I am eager to see what's next for Miss SpeaX.
All right, now, Kolin James.
I am constantly recreating myself moment by moment. I am becoming a better person with each experience. And I'm appreciative of being on this podcast.
We appreciate you being here. Yeah, definitely.
I'm truly humbled.
So,
and before, we could go. Well, thank you. We're gonna go ahead and sign this table. Right. I gotta go get the marker. I gotta get the marker.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching another episode of Broadbelt SpeaX. Till next time.
All right.
I'm gonna get you the marker.
Yeah.
Look at this camera. Be drinking now. I don't know where my days. I'm supposed to go. They're having a bonfire on the land.
He DM'd me. I
don't know if you guys are doing anything after this. It's at 4. What time is it? Oh, it's like now. Probably that's where I'm headed after this. To go to the bonfire and play.
Okay.
I like this little Spanish tune I learned a while ago. I kind of embellished it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You make it look so easy too. I feel like I could just pick up the guitar and just.
I know, he's making me want to pick mine up at home. I have a guitar at home.